Welcome to a deep dive into a concept that truly shapes, well, every human connection we make: trust. Today, we're unpacking the profound insights from DeSteno's groundbreaking book, The Truth About Trust: How It Determines Success in Life, Love, Learning, and More.
You might think you have a handle on what trust is, but this deep dive is designed to fundamentally shift that perspective for you.
Yeah.
DeSteno, he's a distinguished psychologist, a researcher. He doesn't just tell us trust matters. He takes us on really a scientific journey, revealing what trust really is, how it functions beneath the surface, and how it subtly yet powerfully influences every single interaction, not just with others, but surprisingly with ourselves too. Okay, let's truly unpack this.
What's truly revolutionary, I think, about DeSteno's work is how he dismantles our everyday, often kind of oversimplified idea of trust.
Right, the idea that it's fixed. Exactly, that it's a simple yes or no proposition. He argues trust is incredibly dynamic, deeply contextual, and often governed by these lightning-fast, unconscious calculations and, well, biological forces we're rarely even aware of.
Wow.
Whether it's, a fleeting interaction, a lifelong friendship, or a high-stakes business deal, trust is this invisible force weaving through our lives.
Okay, so what truly flips our understanding of trust on its head, I think, is DeSteno's assertion that it's less about a moral imperative and far more about a rapid, often subconscious calculation. Can you unpack that a bit more? How does that shift our perspective?
That's a crucial distinction, yeah. DeSteno draws on decades of research to show that whenever we're faced with a choice, like whether to be trustworthy, our brains are essentially weighing a short-term, maybe selfish gain against the long-term rewards of maintaining trust and, reputation.
So it's a cost-benefit thing.
Almost. In a way, yes. And this explains why you can see even someone you consider good betray trust when the immediate incentives are overwhelmingly strong. He really hammers home that the context and the incentives of a situation, rather than just some inherent good character, frequently dictate trustworthiness.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about an otherwise honest person under immense financial pressure. They might be tempted to cut corners, right? Or maybe a loyal employee who starts to disengage when they feel completely unappreciated and unmonitored. The immediate situation can override long-held values.
So our brains are doing these rapid trust assessments. But what's even more surprising is that our bodies are physically wired into this trust equation too. It's not just in our heads.
Absolutely. DeSteno offers some fascinating insights into how our biology influences our propensity to trust. Take oxytocin, for example.
The cuddle hormone.
Right, it's often hyped like that, associated with universal bonding. But DeSteno shows its true complexity. While it does promote bonding, its effects are highly selective.
Selective how?
Well, it powerfully increases trust for those we perceive as part of our immediate group, our in-group. But surprisingly, it can actually amplify suspicion and even distrust of outsiders.
Really? So it's not universal trust?
No. It's less a universal trust builder and more like a tribal unifier, reinforcing existing boundaries.
And beyond the hormonal influences, DeSteno also dives into the fascinating role of our nervous system in trust. Specifically, the vagus nerve. How does that fit in?
It's quite remarkable, actually. The vagus nerve, sometimes called the social engagement nerve, plays a direct role in compassion and social connection.
Okay.
When it's activated, it stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. Basically, it calms your body down. It creates a physiological state of safety and openness.
So it literally prepares you to trust.
Exactly. It lays the groundwork for you to feel secure enough to extend or receive trust. So yes, while we are indeed biologically equipped for trust, it only flourishes under the right internal and external conditions.
A point that truly caught me off guard in this book was DeSteno's take on self-trust. We tend to see ourselves as these perfectly steady, reliable agents, right? But he argues our ability to trust our own intentions, to follow through on promises to ourselves, to act in line with our values, is surprisingly fragile.
This raises a profoundly important question for us all, doesn't it? What happens when our own integrity wobbles?
Yeah.
DeSteno makes a strong case that external and internal factors like stress, fatigue, even simple hunger or a powerful temptation, these can significantly tilt that balance.
So they're not just minor things?
Not at all. They aren't just minor inconveniences. They can make us betray not just others' trust, but our own stated intentions and deeply held values. It's a humbling reminder that our own integrity isn't as stable and consistent as we might prefer to believe.
It's like our New Year's resolution.
Exactly, right. We genuinely mean to keep them, but then a lack of sleep or, I don't know, a sudden craving for chocolate can completely derail us. It shows that internal friction.
Okay, we've explored how trust functions internally and biologically. But what happens when external dynamics shift things? Specifically, what does DeSteno say about how power alters the entire calculus of trust?
Right, power. Well, power fundamentally changes the equation.
How so?
When individuals or groups gain more power or status, their incentive to maintain trust with others often diminishes.
Because they need others less.
Largely, yes. They become less dependent on the goodwill, cooperation, or, reputation among others for their success. DeSteno is careful not to say that power always corrupts. That's too simplistic.
Okay.
But he clearly demonstrates how the structure of incentives shifts dramatically. And with that, the underlying, often subconscious calculations of trustworthiness change too.
So powerful people might feel they have less to lose.
Precisely. They may perceive less to lose from a breach of trust, so their reputational cost-benefit analysis changes significantly.
Okay, that makes sense. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? DeSteno doesn't just leave us with complex theory. He offers actionable insights we can apply right away.
That's right. First, he urges us to abandon the binary thinking around trust. It's not simply you have it or you don't.
Get beyond the yes-no.
Exactly. Instead, he encourages you to pay very close attention to the context, the underlying motivations, and observable patterns of behavior in any situation where trust is at stake.
Second, you can actively shape the conditions for trust, whether it's in your personal relationships, within your professional teams, or even in larger organizations. The book suggests building environments that explicitly reward trust and cooperation, rather than inadvertently promoting individual selfishness or short-sighted gains.
Third, and this is really important, it's vital to examine your own personal triggers.
Know yourself, basically.
Yes, knowing when you are most susceptible to betraying your own values, perhaps when you're utterly exhausted under immense stress or facing a particularly enticing temptation, that knowledge can empower you to protect your own integrity more effectively.
I mean, proactive.
Exactly, proactive, not just reactive.
And finally,
always look for the long view. DeSteno powerfully reminds us that trust truly thrives when those immediate short-term temptations are clearly and consistently outweighed by substantial long-term rewards.
so find tangible ways to make those long-term stakes visible and compelling.
That's it, in your personal relationships, your professional life, and even your daily choices.
One of the book's greatest strengths, I found, is its incredible interdisciplinary richness. It seamlessly weaves together insights from psychology, neuroscience, economics, even moral philosophy, giving you a truly comprehensive, sort of holistic understanding of trust.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's truly captivating is the engaging storytelling throughout the book. It's filled with vivid, relatable examples from such diverse realms, from poker players navigating bluffs to parents building trust with their children, to the intricate dealings of con artists and the strategic decisions of corporate leaders. It makes the concepts really stick.
And it's definitely not a simplistic feel-good book about just trust more or offering like 5 easy steps.
No, not at all. Instead, it rigorously challenges our assumptions and explores how trust actually functions, with all its inherent complexities, messiness, and often surprising truths.
However, it's probably worth noting, if you're looking for a simple, step-by-step how-to manual for immediate trust-building strategies, the book might feel more exploratory and analytical than directly prescriptive.
That's fair. And while it touches upon broader complexities like cultural, structural, or systemic dimensions of trust, it doesn't delve into those areas in, say, deep, exhaustive detail. It keeps its focus tight.
Right.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, in our current age, often characterized by, rapid information flow, significant political polarization, social fragmentation, trust can feel more fragile than ever before, can it?
It certainly can.
The Truth About Trust offers a powerful, scientifically grounded framework to understand precisely why trust breaks down and, crucially, how we might realistically, not naively, begin the challenging work of rebuilding it.
It really encourages a profound sense of humility, I think.
How so?
Well, instead of simply asking, who can I trust? It invites you to ask a much deeper question. Under what specific conditions can trust genuinely thrive, both within myself and in my interactions with others?
That's a great point. It's a powerful shift in perspective.
So if you're ready to think more deeply and more scientifically about how trust genuinely operates in every corner of your life, in your most intimate partnerships, your workplace, your community, and even your own inner world, this deep dive into DeSteno's book is absolutely worth your time and focused attention.
Yeah, this deep dive truly teaches us that trust isn't something we grant or receive once and for all. It's a complex dynamic we navigate every single day in both grand and incredibly subtle ways.
So for you, the provocative thought to carry forward from this deep dive is this. If trust is indeed a dynamic, often subconscious calculation of incentives, how can you consciously shift the incentives in your own life? How can you prioritize the long-term rewards of trust, both for yourself and in your interactions with others, even when faced with those powerful immediate temptations?